And the Northern Cape is the most improved province with a matric pass rate for the year 2025 of 87.79%. We now speak to the MEC of Education in the Northern Cape, Vosloo, who's with us in studio. MEC, congratulations. Being the most improved province places a lot of pressure on you to keep that momentum. But the momentum isn't just from the year before. It's the years preceding where there's been a build-up towards that. What would you account for the improvement in the province?
Thank you, Oliver, and also to the viewers of SABC. I think what is important from our side is to mention that I think the education system in the province has matured, has stabilized, and over the last 5 years, there's been a concerted effort from the side of the departmental team under the guidance of the Premier, Dr. Zamani Sol, to make sure that we account for the investment in terms of support to grade 12s have been. And most importantly for me is the role that your districts, your circuit managers. How
many districts do you have in the province?
We have 5 districts, 5 constituent districts. Look, we have a small province. We have 551 schools. Just to give the context, we have just more than 313,000 learners, and 14,000 of those are grade 12 that participated this year. But the big challenge in the province is the huge distances that need to be traveled, given the fact that the Northern Cape is one of the biggest provinces in terms of land mass, but smallest in terms of population, which is about only account for 1.3 million. And in terms of land mass, is about 370,000 square kilometers that the province. So the work that has been done by all the teachers in the respective schools across the province, I think we stand to marvel and reap the benefits of their hard work on a continuous basis. And it's been, and quite rightly said, it's been a process that's been coming for the last 5 years. We have seen a steady increase over the last 6 years, from 66% to 87 to 87%, and that for us is a huge increase. It's an increase of 21% in a 6 years period. And the last 2 years, we have been the province that has shown consistent improvement. In fact, for the last 2 years running, we have been the province with the biggest increase in terms of improvement. Last year, we improved by 8.4%. This year, we improved by 3.5%. And I think with the work that we are doing as a department, working closely, obviously, with a variety of stakeholders in the education sector and under the leadership of Premier's office, we can safely claim that I think we will further see an upward trajectory. And you are correct, it's going to be very difficult to sustain that. But what is important is that these programs that has been rolled out has found a place in all of the schools in the province, and that gives us, makes us to be very confident in terms of going forward, to make sure that we further build on even the issue of quality, because even on the issue of quality, we have also, since last year, improved, and this year we've also improved slightly in terms of your access to bachelors.
Let's talk about the numbers that tell the picture beneath the picture, right?
Yes.
And that is retention. The minister highlighted in a speech that retention is a problem in South Africa-wide. And what's fascinating about the picture of retention is that it's not in the early grades. Between grade 1 to 10, retention seems to be quite healthy in South Africa.
Yes.
We only lose about 4% of our learners there. And there, it can be accounted for things such as death, migration, and in minute circumstances, dropouts. But it's the retention post-grade 10 that seems to be particularly worrying. How's your province faring in terms of that?
Oliver, look, that's been the biggest challenge in the education sector across all provinces. And I think the minister has alluded to that. That is something that we are reflecting on as a province. We have started this year with a research and a study in as far as 2 issues are concerned, is retention and the throughput rate. Retention in terms of keeping the learners in the education system, but most importantly, the throughput rate. The learners have started in 2014, and now that is now passed. How many of them did not make it in terms of 2025.
And what is that number in your province for this year?
So in our province, that number is around 48%, and that's a big challenge that we are talking.
So that means you had about, what, 29,000 learners start grade 1 in 2014, and you had only
27,000 to be honest.
27,000. The math.
Yes,
I'm doing quick math here.
No, you are fine, and that's very important.
Yeah.
But so we have now commissioned a study into that. We are supposed to be getting that study by the end of March. By the end of March, we will be in a better position to analyze what are the contributing factors to this phenomenon. But you are correct. Starting from grade 10, 11, 12, that's where the biggest challenge is. But that doesn't necessarily mean in the entire value chain that there's not a challenge in terms of dropouts. And those are the issues that we are focusing on, the issue of dropouts and the issue of the throughput rate. And if you take that into consideration, then that will address the issue of retention. And I think that program and that result and that study will also assist us further.
It's worrying because it means half of the learners who started school in grade 1 in 2014 either failed along the way or dropped out along the way, and we need to figure out which of the two it really is in order to turn it around.
Hence, we are speaking of the study. So we do not make assessments and jump to conclusions. We base our intervention and support based on an empirical study that has been done, and that will assist us in data that is verified and that is independently being gathered, and we are working with other partners outside education.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the districts that perform better than the others. I would assume that the more populated, urbanized and dense districts perform better because some of those geographical and logistical problems that you spoke about earlier maybe don't exist as drastically in Kimberley as it does in Upington or Taung, for instance.
Yes.
Give us a sense about the spread of performance across the province.
No, I don't.
Which areas are the problem areas?
I think you will understand the reason why I can't now go into the performance of each and every district. You know, the Premier will be announcing the results tomorrow at an occasion like this one today, and the issues around the provincial performance per district, per circuit, will then be indicated there quite clearly. And I don't want to fall into the trap, into the temptation of sharing that information that is privileged for Premier to
No, that's fine.
announce.
I completely understand that. Let's talk about some other matters that are equally as important. You have 313,000 learners in your schooling system in the province at the moment.
Yes.
That number will drastically increase as of this year when you consider the fact that grade R becomes now a big part of the schooling platform.
Absolutely.
Do you have enough teachers?
In the province, yes. I think one of the key challenges in the province that we have, I think we can pin it down to the area of maths and science. This year we have seen an increase in terms of our physical science performance with an increase of 4%, but we've also seen on the other side a decline of education, of maths performance with a 7% decline. Now that's a concerning point. But most importantly, what is of most concern to us is the shortage of teachers in the space of maths. So now we have started the program through the support of Premier's office to work hand in hand with the Solplaatje University to get and identify final year students with maths as the majors, and also bring them in the system. So we are now already speaking of about 58 that we want to bring into the system. So the shortage of teachers is not a major issue. I think if you speak of grade R, you are speaking of ECD.
Yeah.
Now, grade R is important, and now we have seen even with the online admission system that we have now also bring into space for grade R. We have seen the drastic increase in terms of numbers, but we are ready for that. I think we are working hand in hand with all the schools, primary schools in the province. But the major challenge in terms of ECD in the province revolves around the issue of your ECD practitioners, your grade R practitioners being fully qualified.
And have you accredited all facilities in the province that will be that are ECD centers?
Yes, you know, we must make sure that they comply with all the norms and standards.
Yeah.
So that process has been underway. There might still be challenges in some of the districts, which, as from where I'm sitting, should be very low in number. But I'm saying we'll see in the first 10 days. We normally go through a process in the first 10 days after the schools is open to identify where are the key challenges in the different districts and respond to those key challenges. We have always done that, and this year will be no exception.
Yeah, MEC, 87.78% is an impressive number to consider, and if you improve by the same margin this year, you will be reaching 90%, which makes you one of the top performing provinces in the country by next year this time, if you maintain this momentum. So I wish you all the best, and thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Do appreciate it. That's the MEC of Education in the Northern Cape, MEC Vosloo.